Good morning, everybody. So last week I did a crystal and gems tutorial, and we drew single crystals and gems. So today we're going to do what are called crystal clusters. So we're going to group some crystals together and practice more value and shading. So if you haven't done the crystals and gems video yet, I would do that one probably first, and then you can do this one once you've kind of practiced. So as you can see, we're going to be layering them. We're going to start with a simple one and then make one that's a little more complex. And then we're going to be focusing a lot on shading, because when you're making crystals, a lot of it is value and showing where light is coming through and reflecting. So you really want to focus on your coloring and making sure that you're showing value. So we're going to start. I would use a pencil because it's nice to be able to erase. I will use a Sharpie, but it would be nice if I could erase. So we'll start again with this simple one. And the way that we're going to do that, I'm just going to put it over here. We're going to start with the top of a triangle again. So again, the top of a triangle, not the whole thing. I'm going to do a straight line down, but I'm going to stop it pretty early because we have to add this one. So I'm going to make this one go down further, and then this one's going to kind of come in and have a flat, the bottom is going to be flat, but I'm going to stop there because I have to add this one. So then I'm going to draw the side of that crystal kind of coming to the edge of my big one. And then that one also has the triangle top. And then I'm going to come down and kind of add that beveled look in. And there's the bottom. So I'm kind of a little OCD, and I like to go over my Sharpie just one more time to make sure my lines are clean. I hope you guys are having a good week. Happy Friday. I was kind of thinking I probably shouldn't say like Happy Friday and all that stuff, because you might watch this on Monday, but the video is made on a Friday. Okay, so now that I have the basic outlines of my crystal forms, I can start to do the inside. So again, this one will have the two lines coming down and then a straight one across. Same with this one, down and then across. So the tops of these will look similar. So you're gonna start from the top of your triangle and just touch the lines to these two corners. So again, from the top to where these two lines met, and again. Okay, the next part is, this one is going to kind of open up more in the middle. So we're gonna start from this line and just bring it to the edge. Same with this one. Okay. And then we're going to bring this line, and we're gonna kind of make like an edge like this one right here. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Oops, sorry, I have to think about it. Oh, this way. Okay. So there's that one. Oops, that one actually goes up. Man, it's okay. I might just add one more line there. Okay, so there's that crystal all set. So then this one we're going to make two lines that come up. Almost like a little zigzag line on the bottom, zigzag. And then we can touch the two lines here together like that. So there's that crystal. Okay, so there's that one, and remember you can do your the little lines that show that it's shiny and sparkly. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly shade this one. So when you're shading, you want to, we're gonna make this center really light. So I'm just using a crayon. Colored pencil would work well. Again, the only thing that wouldn't work really well is marker. So super light in the center. I'm barely pushing down right now. I'm just gonna darken up a tiny bit around this edge, but not a lot. So I just have like a little bit more pressure. And then towards the top, I can start to push down a little bit harder. This is also new for me, drawing crystals and gems, so I watched a few videos on how to do it. If you are interested, there's a lot of types of crystals I'm learning about that you can draw, like that have all different kind of like tips and stuff. So I tried to pick ones that were the simplest to show you, since I also need to practice. But you're welcome to continue looking at these and drawing more of them. So, okay, so that's good for now. Along the sides, we're gonna just leave like a strip of white so that it shows like the light reflecting through it. So we're gonna leave 2 lines on the sides, just white, because I think the more white you leave on these, the better. And then this one, I'm gonna color this one a little bit darker, the center one. I don't know if you remember from last time, you can kind of do like the opposite at the top of the crystal. And then these ones can be a little lighter. And again, I'm trying to leave some white, and I can make the edges a little bit darker. But the more value that you add, which is dark to light, remember, I think the better the crystal looks. So again, you just want a lot of white. For the bottom, where less light is coming through, I'm probably gonna make this area quite a bit darker. And I'm just gonna start by pushing down hard and then lightening up towards the top of each of my triangles. So there's that one. For this one, I'm gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna make the center one darker, but I am still gonna leave that like little bit of white. So in each section, you should try to leave white if you can remember. Sometimes I'll just start coloring though and then not remember that I was supposed to do that. So no worries if that happens. And again, remember, these are practice. This is practice for me, and it's okay if you don't get it right the first time. I realized too, drawing these, like, they're not very exact. Like, I mean, you could use a ruler, and if you have one, and if you're the type of artist who likes to be very exact, I would definitely use a ruler. I am more of like a messy artist, so I just kind of roll with it and see what happens. And sometimes I regret that. Mr. Kowalski is, he's actually really good at drawing too, and he would be an exact artist and probably losing his mind right now that I didn't use a ruler. But that's okay. All right, and so again, I'm gonna push down hard on the bottom, but kind of lighten up in each triangle. And there's my first crystal, all set. So that is the simpler of the crystal clusters. I'm gonna now go to this one, which is a little bit more complicated. And what you wanna do, and what's kind of key here, is to make the smaller ones first, like a couple, you know, like I started with this one, then this one, and then I think I did this. And then I made the mistake of making the big one, and then I had to kind of put these around it, which it looks fine, like that. But I had to keep reminding myself, you know, you have to make the smaller ones and then kind of layer them. So this is also not a super exact science, but that's okay. So the way that I discovered to do it, which again, it's okay if you coffee time. It's again, if you look up a way to do it and you do it a different way, that's totally okay. This was the way I found to be easiest for me. So I'm just gonna do another triangle top. And then when I come down, I'm gonna try to make my lines come closer together. So like, think about perspective. We've talked about that a few times. So, and then I'm gonna do the same thing that I did over here where I'm making the 3 lines. And then I'm gonna make the tops of these. So there's some crystals you can make, which I saw online, where like the tops are almost like flat. These are pointed. So you could definitely try to make one of those. And maybe if I'm feeling like I've mastered this somehow, I will make another video of more complex clusters. Okay, so there's one. This is my first one. So now what I can choose to do is make one kind of peeking out behind it. Maybe I'll actually do this bigger one first. So I'm gonna, oops. I remember I want to start with the top and then come down. And again, I'm gonna try to angle, but I've stopped here, right? Because this one is behind this one. My 2 lines that come down, the one that goes across. My lines down, close this. Okay, so there's my second one. And as you can notice, like the closer you put these to the top, it kind of makes it look shorter, like this one looks a little bit longer. So now I can probably add this smaller one. And maybe I'll kind of have it like tilted. So again, 2 lines. One that comes down. I'm hoping we'll have some nicer weather this weekend. This week was kind of not great for weather. I bake a lot now, which I'm not very good at baking, but my daughter is entertained by it, and when she's really fussy around like 3, 4 o'clock, it's good to have something to do. All right, so now I'm gonna make the biggest one of all the crystals here. Oops, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Again, if you wanted to layer some more in the front, you want to make the smaller ones first. Okay. So there's the biggest one, and then I can make, I don't know if you can see, I'll probably make these 2. So I'm going to make the shorter one first and then the taller one. Sorry, this video might be a little bit longer just because I want to make sure I show you. Ooh, that's going to be a skinny one. I'm gonna mess that one up. That's okay. I'm gonna roll with it. Okay. So then there's that one. And then I have one more that's kind of tucked behind. Okay, so here's my crystal bunch. I don't know if it super makes sense right there. I kind of messed that one up, but that's okay. I might even actually be able to fib it a little bit. So when all else fails, as an artist, artist, you just fib it. Make it look like this crystal is in front. It just has really thick lines. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to focus on making this bottom part, like the little cluster part. And that I just made kind of sharper edges. And then I just combined some lines in there. There was no real science to this one. I kind of just went with the flow. And I took like wherever there was a corner, I tried to like attach it to another section. Okay, so now that we're done with that, oh, we can do the little shiny lines. So now it's going to be time for shading. And again, you know, we talked a lot about values, so we don't have to, I don't have to color the whole thing maybe on camera. So I'll do one and then I'll do like a time lapse. So again, just like these ones, you want to pick a side of your crystal. See, this one has 3 sides, and you want to have the center either be the lightest or the darkest, and then the sides would be darker, and you want to make sure to leave some white no matter what. So this is going to be my lightest one. My sides are going to be darker. And I'm going to make sure to leave lots of white. So since this almost needs to be a little darker, okay. And then since this one's light, I'm going to make this center one pretty dark, especially from the top, and then I'll kind of lighten it up. And then these ones I will keep pretty light. Okay, so there's my first one. I'm gonna do a time lapse for the rest because this video is super long. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now my crystal clusters are done, so as you can see. So again, a huge portion of this is definitely gonna be shading and showing value, and just remember to keep a lot of white. And you're welcome to look up more videos, especially by people who are more experienced with drawing crystals. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.